We have breaking news right now. Donald Trump and the Trump administration are threatening states that are issuing full SNAP benefits to 42 million Americans who are on the verge of hunger, telling them that they must stop sending full SNAP payments to families across America. Another major development in what has been a back and forth over whether or not families in America who desperately need food assistance from the federal government can receive it during the ongoing government shutdown. Minutes ago, the Trump administration sent out a memo from the United States Department of Agriculture to states across the nation. The memo reads, "This memorandum is a follow up to the guidance shared on October 10th, October 24th, November 4th, November 5th, and November 7th, 2025, regarding Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program SNAP benefits for November 2025. The United States Supreme Court granted the U.S. Department of Agriculture an administrative stay of the orders issued by the District Court of Rhode Island and Rhode Island State Council of Churches versus Rollins, pending any explicit direction to the contrary from Food and Nutrition Service (FNS). States must not transmit full benefit issuance files to EBT processors. Instead, states must continue to process and load the partial issuance files that reflect the 35% reduction of maximum allotments detailed in the November 5th guidance. To the extent states sent full SNAP payment files for November 2025, this was unauthorized. Accordingly, states must immediately undo any steps taken to issue full SNAP benefits for November 2025. Please advise the appropriate FNS regional office representative of steps taken to correct any actions that do not comply with this memorandum. Per 7 CFR 7H, failure to comply with this memorandum may result in the United States Department of Agriculture taking various actions, including cancellation of the federal share of state administrative costs and holding states liable for any overissuances that result from the noncompliance. This is major. This memo essentially says that states cannot pay out full SNAP benefits, even if they've already done so. And if they've already done so and families are using SNAP, they must claw back that money. That's what this memo is saying. And I need your help to get it everywhere. So make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to spread the word. So essentially, here's where we're at right now. 2 weeks ago, a federal judge in Rhode Island, literally on Halloween, said that the Trump administration must pay out full SNAP benefits for the month of November. There was a lot of confusion over what full SNAP benefits meant because Congress set aside about $4.8 billion in a contingency fund. If there is an emergency, that money will be then used to pay out certain SNAP benefits. That will cover 2 to 3 weeks of SNAP payments for the month of November. That money has and must be sent out to families across the nation. The Trump administration, that's what they mean by the 35% maximum allotment reduction. It's a partial SNAP payment. They get 35% less, families do, for the month of November. They're paying that money out. And many people have already messaged me and told me that they've received some SNAP benefits for the month of November. That's a good thing. Now, it's not full for November, and that's why the churches that are suing went back to the court, went back to Judge McConnell and said, well, you told us that Trump must pay out all SNAP benefits for the month of November because there is another pot of money that's not this emergency contingency fund, another pot of money, which is a little bigger, about $20 billion, that could cover all of November and probably all of December as well. And Judge McConnell said, you know what, Donald Trump, this was earlier this week, he said, you're not complying with my court order to pay out full SNAP benefits. You have to do so. And so he ordered Donald Trump to pay out full SNAP benefits. Then Donald Trump went on Truth Social and said, I'm not going to follow this court order until the government essentially reopens. At the same time, his administration told a judge that they'll pay out partial SNAP, not full SNAP, in court, and they're doing so. But then, after they were ordered to pay out full SNAP, not just the partial amount, Trump sued to the First Circuit Court of Appeals. It's the intermediary appellate court between Judge McConnell in Rhode Island and the United States Supreme Court. And he asked what is called an administrative stay to essentially allow the court some more time to decide whether or not Trump can avoid paying out full SNAP payments to families. The First Circuit said, no, we're not going to give you this administrative stay. You're not going to get it. they're going to issue a fuller decision. But in the meantime, you have to pay out full SNAP. Then Trump said, okay, we're going to go to the United States Supreme Court. He went to the Supreme Court and said by 9:30 p.m. on Friday, November 7th, 2 days ago, you have to essentially issue the administrative stay that the First Circuit would not issue. And the Supreme Court, Ketanji Brown Jackson, acted on her own. Was not a full court decision. Justice Jackson acted on her own and issued that stay. A lot of people were upset about that stay, but that stay actually made sure that full SNAP payments will likely go to families quicker, because if she didn't issue that stay, then the entirety of the court may have ruled on the merits in some way, and that would have hurt families even more. So there was some confusion about that too. But essentially, Justice Jackson issued the stay. And the stay said that, you know what, Donald Trump does not have to pay out full SNAP benefits while the First Circuit decides on the merits whether or not the Trump administration will have to pay out full SNAP. And so, the day after this memo was sent, this memo then goes to the states and says, you know what? Not only can you not pay out full SNAP moving forward, but any money you've already paid out full SNAP, you have to work on getting that money back. And so, what they're trying to do essentially is say, you know what? If a family on their EBT card has full SNAP benefits for the month of November, they're going to get some of that money taken away from them. And if these states don't do it, then the states can get punished. The Trump administration can impose numerous financial penalties on states, could potentially revoke some SNAP funding to states, could even go so far as saying, you know what, we're not going to, if you overissue SNAP, we're not going to reimburse you for that overissuance, essentially putting states in a hole. But on a broader level, I guess next steps here, we're waiting for the First Circuit to act, because that's really the key here. If the First Circuit says, Trump, you have to pay out full SNAP, then Trump will have to pay out full SNAP, and then we'll be back in front of the Supreme Court probably sometime this week. On a broader level, I personally have never seen an administration, Republican or Democrat, fight so hard to take away certain benefits from American families. These SNAP benefits impact 42 million Americans. These are some of the most vulnerable in American society. These are low income American families, low income households who cannot afford to eat without receiving food assistance, nutritional assistance from the federal government. And yet, the Trump administration is working overtime, seemingly, to try to claw back funds that were already deposited on EBT cards and prevent future EBT cards from getting full SNAP payments. And what you're getting is a situation where families may have already budgeted some of this money to uh, buy groceries this week or next week. And now they may be losing that money. And it's putting states in a bit of a bind as well. I will continue to provide you updates on this and more. So like, comment, share, and subscribe. I need your help to get the word out here. So spread the word, and I'll see you.